what I'm going to talk about to you today is going to be very much from a commercial sector point of view, from a consumer point of view, how we as marketers see the new technologies impacting the daily lives of people, and also we can actually talk about how those daily lives can actually look in the future and what might be some of the risks that we're going to see in the future. And I'm basically going to talk about two key technologies today. So one of them is, I'm going to touch a little bit on AI, but not the deepfakes yet, not the machine learning, a bit from the kind of a more daily lives and what we see in our homes. And the other one is going to be something more beyond the screen and how we're going to actually do and talk about information output, but more on that in a little bit. So basically, these four companies, the big four of today, right, the FAGA, as they're called, they're basically producing all of these key technologies that are going to be impacting the world today. Watch what they're doing, because they are kind of the key battlefront is between these four companies. And a lot of the examples that I'm going to talk about today are basically coming from these, the big four. And I'm going to start with voice. So voice has very quickly become kind of a new key information output, the new computing interface that a lot of us started using. It kind of kicked off with some of the voice messages that we see in WhatsApps and messengers. But very quickly, the voice became a platform to compute and actually to give orders to machines to do stuff for us and kind of to improve our daily lives. And this came with the virtual assistants. So you remember probably when Siri first came out, and that was quite revolutionary, because now you can actually talk with your phone, and you can ask it questions, and it can answer. And that was pretty impressive, although it was still quite localized inside your phone, and not all of the people had smartphones at the time. So it was still kind of a very early stages of that. But then came these guys, and I can imagine probably some of you have a smart speaker in your home, whether that's Amazon Alexa or Google Home or even Apple HomePod. And these things kind of changed the game for voice, because suddenly voice became this kind of input source that was everywhere. So suddenly not only your phone is listening for what you have to say and what you have to kind of ask it to do, but you have a smart speaker that's always listening in your home, and you can actually ask it questions or give it commands. And when they came out, so when Alexa came out, when Google Home came out, they promised quite a lot. So this is going to be a revolutionary device that's going to improve your daily life significantly, and that's completely going to change your world. But actually, when you talk to them, and when you realize, and ask them something a little bit more difficult, all they can say is that they can reorder paper towels. So not that smart. I can set the alarm myself quite well, thank you very much. But this whole idea of reordering paper towels actually packs quite a punch. Because for a smart speaker to be able to reorder your paper towels, it means that it has to know a lot about your home. And this is the interesting bit, and this is kind of a bit the scary bit, because these virtual assistants, suddenly they become this kind of a mesh that puts together all the different data sources together. So it becomes your assistant in life, because it connects your car, it connects your fridge, it connects your microwave, it connects your door lock, and so on. So basically, on one hand, we have the virtual assistant that knows everything about you. So it knows when your milk is about to go bad, because it's connected to the smart fridge, so it can actually reorder that milk for you. And so imagine the amounts of data that they have, right? The amounts of personal data that they have about what you consume, how you consume it, for example, what clothing or what shoes you look online. All of that data is pulled together in one unit, and that's your virtual personal assistant. So these things, even though they're fairly, I would say, stupid at the moment, they're going to become kind of the key component in kind of the next computing platform. And it's quite scary, because these things are so easy to hack. Even actually marketing people are doing this. And I'm sure that Mikko can tell you more about IoT and hacking IoTs, but I'm going to give you just a very simple example of how actually this hacking smart devices and hacking smart speakers is being done in marketing. So let's have a look at a case from Burger King.
Listen, Burger King, quit messing with my mind. Quit messing with my emotions.
You're watching a 15-second Burger King ad, which is unfortunately not enough time to explain all the fresh ingredients in the Whopper sandwich. But I got an idea. Okay, Google, what is the Whopper burger?
According to Wikipedia, the Whopper is a burger
consisting of a flame-grilled quarter-pound beef patty,
sesame seed bun, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato,
pickles, ketchup,
and sliced onion.
The problem is the definitions are coming from the Whopper's Wikipedia page.
People trolled the absolute hell out of Burger King by constantly changing what Wikipedia said.
Patty made with 100% medium-sized child.
And after a few back and forth entries, Burger King eventually restored the original content.
Google says it made changes to stop its devices from responding.
At first, Google had said it would fix it, but then apparently Burger King released additional ads last night that still trigger it, so wow.
Okay, Google.
Okay, Google, what is
the Whopper burger?
Oh, it did work.
It did work.
So, funny example, funny commercial, one of the most successful marketing campaigns for Burger King, but it also shows how vulnerable are these devices that we have in our homes. Because even if you can hack it and actually make it talk to each individual home just by releasing a TV ad, right? Imagine what a bad actor can do to hijack a bunch of different homes if they have a little bit more sophisticated technology. So it's going to be interesting, and there's a lot of risks with this. But where I'm going at is that basically virtual personal assistants are one part of the puzzle for the future of personal computing. So they're basically going to be omnipresent because you're going to have either a piece of earbuds, AirPods, wherever you choose in your ear, so you can constantly communicate with them, or either you will have them in your car or in your home, constantly listening, pulling together all the information, and able to make decisions for you. And I'm not even talking about what's going to happen when we're going to have implants and some of the other devices that we're going to actually have inside our body, because then not only the personal assistant can react to our actions, it actually knows what we need and what we want before we do, because it can actually read our biometrics. So an omnipresent, all-knowing companion. And it's going to be weird, because if you hack that and if you actually can access, for example, just the voice part of it, Google just showed a couple of years back what the personal assistant can actually do and how it can impersonate real people. So let's have a look.
Go back to this example. Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google Assistant makes the call seamlessly in the background for you. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
So how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second. Mm-hmm. Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now. Okay, we have at 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day. Bye.
So quite impressive, because that was a computer, a personal assistant talking with a real person. The real person had no idea they're talking to a computer, And basically, this is kind of the future that we're moving to, and this is available already. So this is going to be the voice basically became a very good output and very natural output for humans for outputting information and for controlling our kind of a personal computing devices. But voice is very bad output if you need to get information because it's very linear, and if you need to get a lot of information at at a very short amount of time, voice is quite bad for that. Vision or pictures does a better job because a picture tells 1,000 words. And this is where we come to the second part of how the future of personal computing would look like. So how we're going to actually, what's going to happen with vision and what's going to happen with screens? So at the moment, the key, the pinnacle of personal computing right now is the smartphone, because pretty much everyone has it, and the smartphone has already reached its maturity because it's not changing radically in terms of technology. The key players, so the market leaders, are really ramping up the prices, and we have a lot of pretty much good enough and similar technology devices in the market for 2-3 times cheaper. So that means something is about to change the smartphone and become the new default personal computing device. And that's going to be the augmented reality. And Facebook introduced augmented reality and called it as kind of their key platform moving forward back in 2017. And right now, when we talk about augmented reality, it's pretty simple and pretty stupid. So we have the Instagram filters, we have the Snapchat filters, so it's nothing too radical. Basically, again, you're using your phone to get that information or to overlay digital information over the real world. For us marketers, it gives us the opportunity to do something like that. And if you watched the last season of Game of Thrones, I'm with you. It was bad. But what happened with the developing of the smartphone technology is that with smartphones, suddenly we can actually map the room and understand. And the current smartphones with the dual cameras, they can understand where's the ceiling, where's the floor. So they can actually understand where are the things in the real world. And this gives a lot of opportunities because, for example, IKEA can do something like IKEA Place app that allows you to actually try the IKEA furniture in your home just with a tablet or with your phone, because you can understand where is what. If you're going to move that further, you can actually have digital overlaid information in the real world. So if you go and actually use maps, you can actually get information about cafes or the restaurant or the directions to the museum. But because smartphone as a platform is in decline, or going to be soon in decline, the next big thing is going to be the glasses. And I think Facebook was the very first of the big four to announce that they're working on augmented reality glasses. That was back in 2017. I'm sure they're kind of moved on quite a bit. And we remember Google Glass and some of the other technologies back before that. So Google Glass flopped quite drastically, and that was a massive fail. But again, they're working on a new iteration of that. And then we have new devices like Microsoft HoloLens, which is a full-on Windows computer on your head. And you can actually view all the programs, your spreadsheets, and your presentations just kind of in the field of vision. So this becomes very interesting, and once these devices become less bulky and looks less like a Terminator helmet and more of a consumer-friendly device, this is going to be the big shift. So we're going to move from the smartphones to actually the earbuds, where you have your virtual personal assistant, always ready to assist you and make calls for you, and you can have your virtual reality, augmented reality glasses. And this is going to mark the end of the screen era. Because at the moment, we're in the screen era. So it started with the cinema back in the early 20th century. It kind of moved to television, to computers, to laptops, to mobile phones. And it's getting closer and closer to our eyes. And eventually, it's going to actually go directly into our eyes. And that's going to be the glasses. And this could be your future workstation. So all of the screens are digital because you no longer need physical screen. You can have as many screens as you want, because it's all digital information. So you can have 6 screens, 10 screens. It's all bounded. It's not bound by physical reality. And for example, school events could look something like that, because basically it takes away the need for any kind of a physical presence. So we can have digital information overlaid on any type of physical object. So this could be, the future cities where digital advertising is bigger than a building. Basically, that becomes possible because we all share kind of a one kind of a digital stream and digital reality. And the future city might look something like this.
Estoy libre de mi ira. Estoy libre de mi tristeza. El amor es mi experiencia.
Adiós. Olá, me llamo María.
Yeah, so it looks like a lot, and you know, this actually could be the future. This could be the future where instead of a phone, you have glasses that plugs in kind of the general stream. That's probably going to be a mix of kind of a government or municipality information about, for example, the traffic. It's probably going to be some of the commercial information. Maybe you're going to have a premium service that allows you to take away some of those ads. But this is basically where we might be heading to, kind of to the era of mixed reality. So it poses a lot of threats, as you can imagine, because you can actually manipulate the data stream that everyone else is plugged into. I have no idea what that's going to be for mental health, you know, for our vision, but it's going to be quite interesting. Thank you.